Right.
Go ahead, Eric.
No, actually, that was actually going to lead into my question was, are men more afraid to commit in the relationship and look into marriage? How do you feel about that? Why do you think men are like pulling back from marriage?
What do you think?
Why do you think? Why do you think men are not wanting to commit nowadays?
I don't know. I feel like, what do you mean, like the younger guys or just any age?
Just
20,
in
30s,
general,
40s?
in today's age,
the
yeah.
guys you're dealing with.
Yeah.
I feel like, hold up, I'm not dealing. No, I ain't dealing with nobody. I don't know. I feel like they just want to have fun, have multiple women, or just have like a friends with benefit. Like
That sounds fun.
they just they don't want no type of commitment because they don't want to hear no nagging. They don't want to like hear accusations. They don't want to hear like, oh, where were you? Why didn't you answer your phone? I feel that these men, like, they don't want that. They don't want to be committed to one lady. They just want to do whatever they want, go out, party, drink, get drunk, do drugs, whatever the case is. Like,
I can argue that, right? Because what guys are you meeting, right? Because there's not every guy's out doing drugs and alcohol and partying, right? I think it comes down to who you're actually meeting. Now, you mentioned that you also go into dating apps and you've tried all that. Are these guys intentional? Are these guys being intentional with you, or are they being deceiving, right? I think it's like a fine line between that. Guys who are intentional, they're going to be transparent with what they want, right? Whether they want something serious or they just want to have a good time. And so that kind of leads me into the reason I feel men are not wanting to commit is because of what comes after that when it comes to marriage, right? Now, I don't know, again, the kind of men that you're dating and all that, but a lot of the girls that now in today's age, they're not wanting to just settle with someone who is quote unquote average. Mm-hmm. So we're talking about like high value men who are in the 10%. The 10% are guys who are making six figures and above, right? And a lot of the times these guys who are in the 10% or even 1%, it comes with a lot of bullshit. It comes with a lot of that infidelity. It comes with a lot of that, like, you know, I'm going to spend more time with my boys and all that, which I can also argue that I think it's a good idea to spend more time with your boys than it is with your girl. There's a lot of things behind that, and that's a whole different conversation. But I think that a lot of the times now, you know, if guys are going to commit, they're looking at, especially the 10% or 1%. Well, I have all this. I've built all this throughout all my years of life, mainly my 20s, built my way up to in my 30s. A man's peak years or prime years are from 30 to 35. A lot of people can argue that too. And people, you know, guys are saying, well, I've been building my way up to my 30s and I have all this, I'm making all this money, and now I have to commit to one woman, which is great. I have nothing against that. But the moment that I slip or something happens within myself and I have no longer that support from my woman and she gets attention somewhere else or she sees the value in someone else, we're getting divorced. And what happens? Half of what's mine, or actually what's mine, goes to half of now to her. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's kind of like you're building something and that's being taken away. Now, this is all systemic. This is all part of societal programming, right? Yeah. Where it's like a lot of guys actually are going to not, they're more leaning into getting married just by the church and not getting married within the state. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, why get the government involved or the state involved when, look, if we're going to get married, cool, let's do it by the church. You know what I'm saying? And that's cool. Or a lot of guys are going in with a prenup. I don't know how you guys feel about a prenup, but it's kind of saying, you know, look, whatever I had before I met you is mine, but after I met you and whatever we build together, that we can split. You know what I'm saying? There's like that fine line. I think that's why a lot of guys are not willing to commit into marriage.
It's the risk to reward.
It's the risk to reward. Yeah. Because
like, am I willing to give up everything I built for this woman? It's almost as to a point where it's like, I could low-key replace you if it didn't work out. So why would I give up everything I built for you when it's just the risk to reward is not there, if that makes sense?
Yeah.
Do you feel as if the men, when you were younger, were not the men you were trying to attract? So basically, like in your 20s, were y'all going out and partying? Like from what age? From like 20 to 25, or was it like 20 to 30, or what age was it for?
25.
Okay, so those like first 5 years. Okay, gotcha. What about you?
I would say, like, yeah, mid 20s.
Mid 20s.
You were like still partying, or like that's when you were like, oh, I'm gonna take it a
No, I
little
was
bit
still
serious?
partying. I partied in my 20s because I was sheltered in high school. Like, my parents had a curfew on me. I couldn't do anything. And so when I look back and I'm like, it's because that's why I didn't get to do that in high school. While everybody else was partying, I was at home. So that's why
You were like, I gotta go.
I didn't start going out until I think I was like 23 maybe.
Okay.
So yeah, that's when I started going out. And then, like,
Were you going crazy?
I would say it was like,
Like-
yeah, 24, 25. I think I was out there like
Wilding?
every weekend. I would go out. Like, me and my cousin, we were roommates. So she's like the one that's married now that just had a baby. She's a year younger than me.
Oh, okay.
So we were going out and stuff. But that's like I'm saying, like, we were going out and she found her husband. So I don't think partying has to do anything with that. Like, she found her husband on Bumble.
On Bumble?
I know.
Hey, that's
Literally.
good. Good for her. I mean,
Like-
it's hard to like. We will go into dating apps, but like dating apps itself, I mean, that's good for her.
But
No,
she's
we'll
more,
go into
I
it.
would say she's more like the grandma because she was allowed to party in high school.
Gotcha.
You
So she
know?
got it out of her system.
Right. And then so as I was still not ready to, I guess I wasn't ready.